There's Della, her partner Guarise of Italy. They're sitting in 8th after the short. We heard Brenda talk about the nasty collision that really shook up the French pair. Seems like it shook them up a little bit too.
Absolutely, you can get quite rattled from something like that happening because it's so unexpected.
It's adrenaline pump, even if you don't get hurt. Like, super hard to control your emotions.
Well, and you know, with our sport, it's so much preparation and there's so much time to think about what's coming your way. And then when you get shaken out of your zone, it can kind of disorient you. And sometimes it's very hard to get back into that zone.
And that is what Nicole Della and Matteo Guarise of Italy are doing. They are sitting in 8th after the short program. Already making history this year by becoming the first ever Italian pair to qualify for the Grand Prix final this season. They ended up placing 5th there, and to think that after competing at the 2010 Olympics for her, she retired because of a knee injury, but returned so she could skate with Matteo.
Slight issue on the jump again for him. He had trouble yesterday as well. It's hard not to think it might have something to do with what shook him up yesterday in that warm-up collision. Good recovery with a nice triple twist. You know, I find this team very nice. They do everything very well. But like I said about Peng and Jin, she's got so much personality on the ice. It's nice to see her bring it out here. He has a ton of personality off the ice. I would love to see him use that a little more on the ice and emphasize it and have vehicles that show that off, because I do find it's a little bit subdued for who he is.
I do see his personality come through in the exhibition numbers. But
oh yes, the Italian stallion.
Complete failure to launch. What happens to your partner in the side-by-side jumps happens to you. You share the dividend, and it goes to the lowest common denominator. So
you win as a team, you lose as a team.
That will be recorded as a double toe.
Good job on that second throw. They really needed to land that to stay somewhat in this mix.
Good speed on this lift, though.
Excellent. He's a very solid lifter, especially having not skated that long, relatively speaking.
Four-time and reigning national champions of Italy, Nicole Della and Matteo Guarise. They teamed up in 2011, and you had mentioned, Dylan, that relatively speaking hasn't been skating for a long time, and that's because he was competing in roller skating. He actually is the 2008 world champion in roller skating, and then teamed up with Nicole in 2011.
I guess he figured, oh, I conquered this. Let's try something similar, but not the same.
On a much scarier surface.
Yes. Well,
You think ice? I think ice is nicer than cement.
at least you can slide if you go down.
I guess this is true too, yes.
At least when you hit, you slide. Okay, speaking of slide, not a bad slide landing.
Pretty good. Not the biggest throw in the event.
No.
And I've seen her land it a little more solidly. Her free leg gets a little stuck beside her on the landing, so it kind of bit of hesitation before she hits that full landing position.
Dylan, you're a big brawny guy. I got a question for you. When you're as strong and as top heavy as Matteo is, does that make jumping harder?
It can.
I think it can.
Well,
right?
if you anticipate and add a little too much effort with your upper body, it can throw the jump axis off very quickly. Because you're wider up top and because you have a lot of power up top, you don't fold in as smoothly as some of the smaller single skaters.
I'm thinking the last flight of the men's event, yeah, we're not seeing that much muscle up top.
Yeah, kind of a different shape.
A little bit.
But
Well, it's been a great year for them so far. They earned their first Grand Prix medal last year, which was a bronze. They carry that into this year, medaling at both of their events. 126.53 is what we're looking for to keep them in contention. 128.45 is what they get. So they will take the lead right now with 195.74.